Good morning, everybody. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. Today, I'm going to take you on my workout. So if you've been here before, you already might know this, but I do work with another coach to do all of my own personal workouts. I follow Hunter Crime Savage Athlete program. I will leave it linked down below, but it's got a really big mix of like kettlebells and athleticism and strength work, and it's a really fun variety. And so I really enjoy that aspect of it. That being said, and this is no fault to anybody, but something I have to do every once in a while is kind of rearrange or rethink the programming. Sometimes it has to do with my space and the gym that I'm in, where different pieces of equipment are set up. And honestly, sometimes it just comes down to my enjoyment because there are just certain exercises I don't necessarily enjoy. So sometimes I'll just switch them out. It's not a big deal. And that's kind of what I want to show you in this video. I not only want to show you how to strategically, quickly, and with purpose either insert or rearrange different exercises as needed, or just completely sub in something else because you're not a huge fan of what's been programmed. So today I'm just going to take you on my workout because I know that I'm going to have to rearrange a few things, swap out a few things here and there, and we'll kind of talk about like the where and the why. But let's really quickly just talk about the actual workout before we jump on in. It is a Friday, which means it is my third and final workout of the week. And this is our bench and deadlift day. So you can see we have like a little coach instructions right here. What we're really focused on is keeping the intensity at around 70%. Hunter even notes in here that load selection is crucial. You'll see when we get into it, we're working really, really high sets with fairly low reps. So we're keeping the intensity in terms of the lifting fairly low, but we're scaling the volume up to 70% because we have a lot of sets. It's been really fun. This is the second week with this style of programming. And if I had to guess, we're trying to like build a stronger base. You'll see we're really working at like our 10 rep max, but for 5 reps. But again, lots of sets. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's what we're doing. I think we're trying to expand on our base and then like maybe we're going to retest. Now, this is behind a paywall, so I'm going to like do my best to keep this as uninfringing on intellectual property as possible. And I'm just going to do my best to like show you the key teaching moments along the way. So I have a few clients before we head to the gym in a bit, but I will see you back then. All right, so we're just going to go through the workout piece by piece. Like I said, I'm not going to show you every single part of it since it's behind a paywall, but I'm going to give you like the snippets that are important in terms of decision making of what we're going to change. So let's start with the movement prep. So what was programmed was this like Zercher isometric kickstand deadlift hold, but it was supposed to be done with a barbell. And where I like to do my warm-ups on the turf, all the barbells are on like the other side of the gym, like the weightlifting section. So it didn't really make sense for me to like do one exercise, go to the other side of the gym, come back and do my other exercise twice through. So instead, I just did a normal good old-fashioned kickstand deadlift hold. I grabbed the heaviest kettlebell that I could find and I held it for 30 seconds on each side twice through. Super simple, open up the back of my hips, worked great. And moving into the power block, you can see that there's 3 exercises 3 times through, one of which was a seated box jump. So it's like when you're sitting on a box and then you explode up and like box jump onto the next one. So again, just the boxes that I would want to utilize in the gym are in like another section of where I was doing most of my warm up. So I just took this and I moved it a little bit later. And then the exercises that I did, which I didn't get footage of, but it was power cleans and elevated pogos. I could do those together 3 times through. And then I'm going to move into some of my main lifts. All right, so I'm just going to full on show you this block because there's no way around it. This is a tricep of a trap bar deadlift, a bench press, and then chin ups, or there were like a few other variations. In my gym, this was not going to work with the setup because, to be honest, I just didn't feel comfortable taking up that many stations at once, especially I did go around lunchtime, so it was a little bit more busy. So here's what I decided to do. The box jumps actually pair really well with the trap bar deadlift because that's going to be an explosive hip extension exercise, and trap bar deadlifts are a hip extension exercise. So I had 8 sets of trap bar deadlifts. For the first 3 sets, I paired it or supersetted it with the seated box jump. But I also didn't do a seated box jump because I didn't feel like working that hard. And I already, from this clip, you can see I had to ask someone to move off the boxes. I was like, I'm so sorry. I just want to do 3 jumps real quick and then you can sit back down. At the end of the day, like it's really not a big deal. I think if anything that you get from this video is that it's not that serious. And I'm just kind of giving you some real life examples of how you can scan something, see what's going to work, see what's not going to work, and make a quick decision. So then after the first 3 sets, I just did the strict sets of the trap bar deadlift. So that's like 5 more, right? Yes, that's math. Then I ended up doing the bench and chin-ups together because both of those are in the other side of the gym. And especially because I was using like a tower for the chin-ups because that didn't require any setup. It didn't require me to like stay there. I felt really comfortable like having my benching station and then just like running over, doing my 2 to 5 chin-ups, whatever I had in the tank, and then going back over. Now, the bench that I was supposed to be doing was close grip, but I don't know what's wrong with my shoulder. It's been like 2 years now. Maybe I'll go to physical therapy for it at some point, but things that are too close that require a little more internal rotation do not feel great on it. So I just did normal grip. To be frank, my bench isn't super strong anyway, so it's a good place to, work on that. Once again, it's not that serious. And then for the chin-ups, it was supposed to be 8 sets of 5. I just don't have that yet in terms of volume. So I'll pop it up on the screen. I did like 5, 5, 3, 4, 3, 2, I don't know. The total was 27, which is a record for me. So, ayo. I'm also fully realizing that in the clip that I have, I like used the tower to jump up for my first rep. Please don't come at me. All right, and then we are into the finisher. So this was like upper body and core work. It was 4 exercises. Again, we're just gonna kind of go through this whole thing. So first we had barbell bicep curls. This might surprise you because I have crazy biceps. These are primarily genetic. I've always had really defined biceps. Yes, they've gotten bigger in the years, but I do not train them isolated, and I will not because I don't want them to get any bigger. They're plenty big. But also keeping in mind, like I did, what did I just say? 27 chin-ups. Like that's going to require or recruit a lot of bicep as well. So like I'm getting plenty of bicep work. I don't need more. So I actually just cut that drill entirely. So let's start backwards. The hanging leg raises, the only place that I can really hang off of is that tower that you saw for the chin-ups on the other side of my gym, only because everything's so tall and it's usually like in the middle of a big cable machine or like double cable machine. And it's just very like, I don't know, it's just very like, hey, I'm out in the middle of everyone trying to do their lifts and I'm like in the middle. I don't know. I cannot be in the middle of a cable machine trying to do chin-ups or hangs or anything like that. I refuse to. I just can't. I just feel like I look like a little worm hanging in space because I'm so short. So I was like, okay, we're going to cut these. But let's think about what the exercise is at its core. It's basically a hanging leg raise, and the way that it was demoed too, because you can do it without spinal flexion and with, the way that it was demoed was spinal flexion. So you're getting that nice tuck. So it's really abdominal focused. So I was like, okay, let's sub in then a cable crunch because I actually had never done them before and I wanted to try them. Then, okay, we have skull crushers, which ideally I'd like to do on a bench because you get more range of motion, but now that's a whole other piece of equipment. So instead, because I already have the rope attachment for the cable crunches, I'm just gonna do tricep push downs because we're still working pretty much the tricep in a we're working the tricep. It's not a big deal. Then finally, we had the dumbbell lateral raises. This is also a good thing that I chose to swap out for the tricep pushdowns at the cable machine because I'm going to lateral raise and skull crush slightly different dumbbell weights. And so just getting like better bang for my buck. Now I only have 1 set of dumbbells and this one part of the cable machine rather than 2 sets of dumbbells, a bench, and the cable machine. Oh no, not even cable machine, somewhere to hang off of. So I'm really doing the same thing in terms of movement patterns, right? I've got the dumbbell lateral raise, which is the exact same exercise. I've got something that works on tricep extension, and then I have an exercise that works on spinal flexion. All of these are just variations of the same exercise that work better for my enjoyment and in my space. All right, and that is the whole video. So hopefully this just gives you a few good ideas of how to zoom out and look at what you're trying to do and what movement patterns you're trying to accomplish. Look around and see what do you have in your space. The specifics are not nearly as important as just doing it. Doing something. I really hope that this video gave you like real-time ideas of just how to feel more empowered in the gym if you do need to make a quick change. And honestly, when in doubt, if you cannot figure out an exercise in the same movement pattern, just pick something you like or skip it altogether. Again, say it with me, it's not that serious. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and I will see you all in the next one.